Hi, and welcome to the Monday Live. We're back. Yes, we've been skiing in Italy. We had a lovely time, really lovely weather, and good skiing. It doesn't mean you're necessarily full of energy having skied all year, all week, but you get such freshness. I mean, just the distance that you can see is a wonderful thing. It is a wonderful thing. So we enjoyed that, didn't think so much about work. And here we are back at work. So interesting, and it's busy. It's going to be busy. I'm off to the Isle of Wight at the end of this week. And then I think another 10 or so days after that, I'm off to Malta. So I am busy. I've also been busy recording certain things so that we can keep in touch. So what's going on this week? Well, we are here on Monday, and we are still responders rebidding in February, but February's quite a short month, isn't it? So we are moving on to the advanced losing trick count next month. So that's exciting. Wednesday we have the prize teams, and I see Ruben's online. I also see that since I've been abroad, Ruben is my partner, I hope, on Wednesday, so I'll be in contact with him. So he's playing, and we've got a whole set of prize winners also, so it should be quite fun on Wednesday. So that's before I head off to the Isle of Wight on Thursday. All that means is that the Friday will be recorded. So I've already recorded, and since we're between topics, I've done a bit of revision for you on Friday. I think it's on opening hands, actually, the Friday one. Usually what I tend to do is pick hands that you've sent me in, and thank you for the hands. I came back to many that have been sent in. You can send in hands just in the normal way, or if you prefer, you can use the notice in purple there. You can submit your hand, but you can do it in a normal way if you are used to attaching a picture or something like that. That works great for me as well, so don't worry about that. But yeah, lovely to have some new people sending them in so that I can reply, etc., and hopefully use some of them as well. At the moment, as I say, the topic's rebidding. There was a few interesting ones here. Today we're going to talk about strong responding hands, actually, just on the rebidding thing. So we'll look at those in a moment. Lots of holidays going in. Don't forget, we still do have a game. We don't get many players on the Monday on Into Bridge. It's free of charge. So that's 7:30 on Mondays on Into Bridge. It's usually just 3 or 4 tables. We'd love to have a few more. So do join if you fancy that. Remember, it's free of charge on Into Bridge. 7:30 on there. And I know a few, and in fact I got sent a few hands from last week's game, and I should join it at some point. I'm not joining it this week, but it can be quite nice to record a game from that, so that I can be ready for when I go away. So once again, Friday's recorded. I'm in the Isle of Wight, so I'm looking forward to seeing lots of you there. I am planning to do the Monday live, though, just about live after it. So I'll be driving back on the ferry, and then I'll do the Monday live and then collapse on the bed afterwards. We are doing lots of slam bidding in the Isle of Wight, so that's exciting. So what kind of events are going on? Well, you'll have seen them flow through. I don't really need to spend too much time on those, because you get to see the various events either on the website or on the little flow-throughs that go through. But it's quite exciting, the amount of new things that we're looking to do. Also, don't forget those 3 that I launched, which I did for the members. I'll see if I can find them here. Bear with me. That one there, the 3 in the autumn and winter, which are sort of newer ones, which we hadn't got organised when we sort of did the first launch of our 2025 years. So there's one in Two Bridges in September, one in the White Swan in Alnwick And then the other one is going back to the old barn. So it's called the barn now, I should tell you, which is a bit the barn or whatever. But that's, of course, near Grantham. Would have liked to have been there consistently. So I've shifted all the stuff away. So I'll probably have to drive back with all the tables, rather like I do to the Isle of Wight. What else have I got? I'm just looking. Fridays. We are moving on to, after this Friday, because of course I'm aware, after this Friday we are moving on to defending after trick one. Defending after trick one. In fact, I'll probably start that by talking about trick one, but the point is someone had asked for that as a topic. I think it's a good one. It could be a long one. There's a lot to think. Obviously, for me, the hardest aspect of the game. So we'll see how we get on with that. So lots going on. I've got no 5-level decision because I didn't have a Friday to come back from, if that makes sense, because of course we've been away in Italy. So I think I'm going to move on to the PowerPoint. So let's go on to it. Of course, we've got our usual, we've got the usual bidding quiz at the end, which I'll be able to show you. But here is your responders Rebid. So we've been looking at all the basics, and in fact I like to spend a lot of time on the weaker types of hands. But I thought, why not look at a couple of things. One where opener has shown a strong hand, and the second is where you are actually strong as a responder. So I wanted to look at those two. The second element is when you are very strong. I'm not talking sort of 14 or 15. I'm talking, ooh, I've got a big hand. What's the chance of a slam? So when opener shows a strong hand, well, usually that's one of two things. He's a jump rebid, or he's made a reverse bid. Okay. So remember, our topic is what responder's second bid, as it were. So even if you're weak, if your partner has shown a particularly strong hand, you may have enough for game. And that's the key here, that when opener rebids in a suit above 2 of his first bid suit, it is a reverse and shows strength, and it is forcing. Okay, so once again, 1 heart from opener, you respond as spade. If partner jumps to 3 clubs, he's showing a strong hand, of course. That's a jump rebid, but sometimes he doesn't have to jump. 1 club, 1 spade from you, 2 hearts from him. He has bid 2, he has bid above 2 of his first bid suit. 1 club, 1 spade, 2 hearts. That is a reverse, and it shows strength. Partner, please bid again. Okay, and if you've got 9 or so points, well, by all means go for game, kind of thing. Okay, so let's put that up. 1 club, 1 spade, 2 diamonds here, rather than 2 hearts, but he's bid above 2 of his first bid suit. It's a really important thing to have straight in your mind, this reverse bid. If the opener is weak here, his only real option over 1 club, 1 spade is to rebid 2 clubs. Partner, sorry, I've got long clubs, but I haven't got anything extra really to say. Okay. So we'd expect him to be 16 or more points. And to explain the reasoning behind it, responder's weakest bid over a second suit is to go back to the opener's first bid suit. Now clearly, because of the reverse, we are forced to go back to 3 clubs. Well, if we've only got 6 points and not particularly good clubs, then 3 clubs is a bit high unless partner has guaranteed 16 or more points. Okay, so if he bids higher than his first bid suit, he's showing a strong hand. So what does it mean? Well, the first thing is you are forced to make a bid. Okay, trust your partner. Even if it's wrong to make a bid, you bid it, because you've got to have this partnership trust. Your partner has to take the blame for the bad contract. If he's made a strong bid, he is saying, I can guarantee that we've got enough to bid a bit more, if that makes sense. Okay, and the key is, of course, with a good 8 or 9 or more points, but a good 8, you can go for game. With 6 points, you know, try and slow things down, because of course partner's thinking, oh, I've got 16, 17, come on, let's go for it. But with 8 or 9, but particularly 9, but a good 8, go for it, go for game. Now, what is important is it's quite rare that the second suit will ever have 5 cards in it. It could be a 6-5 or sometimes a 5-5 when partner underbids, but usually that's the second suit is a minor then. The key is we should only really support the second suit with 4 cards, okay, because 90% of the time it is only going to have 4 cards. Perhaps more than that. So we only support the second suit with 4 cards. We'll often go back to the first suit with only 2, which seems a bit odd. But to support the second suit, you really do need to have 4 cards at your first, when you've got the first chance to support it. So let's look at some hands and put what we know into practice. So 1 diamond from West, obviously a 1 spade response. I know it's tempting to pass, but with 6 points almost always I'm going to make a responding bid. Okay, so you bid a spade and partner, no surprise, bids 2 hearts here. So it goes a diamond, a spade, 2 hearts, and it's your bid. I'm going to ask my wife if she can just pop down with a glass of water. Because we're so clean and everything, we've had the cleaner twice since we've been away. We've wiped everything out. So I usually check, but I haven't. So it's a reverse. I hope you can see that. What do you bid with the East hand? Well, for me, you're weak. A lot of the time your partner's only got 16, 17 points here. You don't want to be going for game. So for me, 3 diamonds is your best bid. I don't like 2 no trumps here. Remember, you cannot pass, Suzanne, though. Your partner is guaranteeing that another bid is allowed. So the 2 heart bid here is saying I'm strong and I'm excited. So if I've got 19 points as West, I am happy just to bid 2 hearts because I know my partner will make another bid. Okay, as Brian says, I suppose you could agree that 2 no trumps is the best. Could be just weak, but I don't like it. If I've only got 6 or 7, I prefer just to go back to partner's suit. Okay, now here, partner will often have 6-4, 6 diamonds and 4 hearts. The key is partner might have 19. So, thank you very much. Okay. So let's the weakest bid you can bid is going back to partner's first bid suit. And remember, it's a bit like when we showed false preference with the normal bidding. Very often a 5-2 fit is more comfortable than a 4-3 fit. Okay, so on this occasion, partner's only got 17, and if he's a good boy, he will pass 3 diamonds. But if I throw the Queen of Clubs in there or something like that, we are going to want to go for game. You know, we're going to try to go for game. Because of course West has got 19, but I'm not going to jump to game with 19. I know my reverse is forcing. So when West rebids 2 hearts, he knows there's going to be another game. However, here, I think it should just go pass. And 3 diamonds is the best of a bad lot. It's not easy to know. Now, with hindsight, you might think, oh, maybe I could have passed 2 hearts, but you're not allowed to. The 2 heart bid is a forcing bid. So don't think later, oh, I wish I'd passed. Don't. Partner wants you to be able to trust you. So partner wants to be able to show his 2 suits with 19 or even 20 points sometimes, knowing that you will make a bid. Okay, so let's look at some different types of hands and see where that leads us. So 1 diamond, again 1 spade, 2 hearts. What do you fancy with this one? Well, here you've got a nice hand. That's the first thing, haven't you? Your partner's shown 16. He's made that reverse bid, so you're confident that you can go here. So I don't mind whether you bid 2 no trumps or 3 no trumps. Again, that's going to depend. I think the hand is so good and your black suits are good and strong that I might jump to 3 no trumps here rather than giving partner any particular option. There is an element that diamonds could be a great contract, but your clubs are so good that it just looks like surely 3 no trumps is where you want to play. I mean, Brian may make the point, well, if we're going to bid 3 no trumps with a good hand, why can't we bid 2 no trumps with a weaker one? It's a close call, isn't it? So here, and of course the Queen of Diamonds is a lovely card, isn't it? On a bad day, You know, you can go down in these contracts. I can give North Ace Jack 10 to 5 hearts, or Ace Jack 10. No, that's not going to take it down. Yeah, no. It's gonna be difficult to go down. I think it looks good. I mean, obviously South might have the Ace Queen of clubs. Yeah, so you could go down, but clearly, if you looked at the 2 hands, you'd want to be in 3 no trumps, wouldn't you? And often you'll get a club lead because they'll think that's your weakest place. So nice and simple. West has shown a strong hand. Remember, 16 or more for the reverse. And East feels confident of game. Okay. So this is important, this one here. So it goes a diamond, a spade, 2 hearts again. Okay. Now, clearly, East's hearts are good. But we only ever support that second suit on your first opportunity with 4 cards, and that's really important here. Okay, so I don't want you thinking, oh, let's hearts are an option here. They can be later in the auction possibly, but I'm still leaning towards no trumps, and to be honest here, I'm probably going to bid 3 no trumps. Remember, if partner has 6 diamonds and 5 hearts, which he'd have to be if he'd bid the diamonds first, I'd expect him to bid 4 hearts over 3 no trumps, because he'll clearly have a couple of singletons or a void. So don't worry about missing a heart fit if partner's got 5, because he'll have a very extreme distribution, 6 and 5, and his plan will have been to rebid for 4 hearts over 3 no trumps anyway. What do you think here? Do you know, I think Jack 10 to 4 looks like it wants to play in 3 no trumps as well, I have to be honest. So I would be tending to lean towards 3 no trumps here, hoping that we might make 4 heart tricks in it. So again, you're going for game. I think with Jack 10 to 4 here, I'm happy, Alan, that my clubs are the stopper. If you see what I mean. Jack, small, small, small. So make it Jack, small, small, small. So that's Jack 5, 4, 3, for example. Then I think 3 clubs is a good bid, but I think Jack 10 to 4 is a pretty powerful holding. So I'm just going to blurt out 3 no trumps there. And feel that we're likely to be in the best contract. Take away the 10 and make it the 2. Could well have 4 club losers. It seems unlikely that you're going to have 4 club losers here. And in fact, of course, if they lead clubs, so let's say it goes a club to the king, another club back to the 10, and then the ace, and then maybe another club, you may well make that 4th round of clubs. If they don't lead clubs, you'll hope to establish a trick elsewhere, either in diamonds or something like that. Clearly, you've got 8 top tricks. Again, you're not destined always to make 3 no trumps, but surely it's the contract you want to be in. Okay, and again, interesting on these hands where you've got Moisian fits, you'd prefer to be roughing, shall we say, in the short trump hand. I mean, 4 hearts might have some hope, as it were, and might not be the worst contract, but you're going to need some luck in the diamonds when you try to rough them, etc. But it's interesting. So here with Jack, small, 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 so Jack 5, 4, 3, I think I would take up Alan's option of the 3 club bid and hope that partner's got some help in clubs, which he doesn't. But with Jack 10 to 4, I would feel that's enough for me just to go 3 no trumps. I've got a balanced hand partner. I've got 4 cards in the 2 suits you haven't got, so surely 3 no trumps is where we want to be. Once again, 9 points, go for the game. So what about when opener shows a strong hand and you are strong too? This is really tricky. In fact, one of the hands I got sent in and I just replied to there was one example like this where you've sort of got 16 and 16. So if you trust your partner for a reverse and you've got 16 yourself, then it's your job to be going for that slap. Okay, so that's important. Remember, if we've got to miss it, we're generally looking for about 33 points between us. But obviously, if your partner's showing a reverse, you can get excited. Sometimes we're going to have to use FSF, as Alan was mentioning there, 4th suit forcing. Because if you just bid 3 no trumps, that will often end an auction. I see so many 3 no trumps plus 3s and 3 no trumps plus 4s. Because people get to an end of an auction and they're not quite sure. It's the difference between if I open 2 no trumps and you've got 13 points, You can do the maths. You get 33, you go for 6 no trumps. The difficulty is when we got 16 and 17 or 18 and 15, slightly less precise, and we get a little bit lost, particularly if one of them is showing 2 suits rather than a no trump bid. Are we prepared to trust each other? Okay, so you're either going to use 4 suit forcing or some other strong bid, and remember the quantitative option. If partner bids 3 no trumps and you're still thinking, well, I've got a lot of strength here, 4 no trumps is a great bid. It says, partner, look, I've heard you bid 3 no trumps, I've got more strength than I've promised. Are you minimum or are you maximum? I think if you're maximum, we can make a slam. Okay, let's have a look. 1 diamond from partner, nice and easy. 1 spade from you. 2 hearts from your partner. This is where things get tricky, because you trust each other, don't you? Okay, now partner has at least 16. Now you do have a flat hand. We don't like our 4-3-3-3 hands, but at the same time you have got nice cards in partner's second suit, and you have got a fit in diamonds, albeit you don't want to play in it. So although it's horrible, you know, the fact that you've got cards in both partners' suit is helpful as well. Your partner is 16 to 19 points here, and you've got to remember that. We've already seen that we're going to bid 3 no trumps with a good 9 point or 9 points. So I just don't think you can just blurt out 3 no trumps here and expect to, you know, to get to always the right contract. I mean, it is borderline because you're 14 4-3-3-3s. So are you going to be? I think though, if partner's got 19 points, you probably, with the fitting cards, as I say, in diamonds and hearts, you'd probably want to be in 6. So I would be tempted here to bid 3 clubs, 4 suit forcing, see what partner says, and then bid on. Also bear in mind that your partner might be 6-4, or you know, or that kind of hand, which again might suggest that you should go higher. So I think rather than bidding 3 no trumps, I think you're slightly too strong. With 14 or 15 points here, I think you should be trying for a slam when partner has 19 points. So I'm going to bid 3 clubs. Your partner bids 3 no trumps, and I think it's borderline. I can see that maybe I'd prefer another jack, but I think I'd put 4 no trumps down here. Partner, are you minimum or maximum? So partner with 16 or 17 clearly is minimum. With 18 he'll think about, with 19 he'll go for it, and that's all we're trying to do. It is slightly borderline. I'm quite happy with if you felt, no, I'm not quite there, as it were, but I would feel that if partner's got a maximum, so for example if partner had 6 diamonds, your 3 diamonds might help him make that suit. I think my hand just doesn't look, Brian, that it wants to play in diamonds. So I think I'd prefer to invite maybe partner. So Brian, they're not unreasonably saying, look, we've got a diamond fit, shouldn't we show that? I think over 4N partner might be at a bid 5N if he had a distributional hand. So if partner accepts the slam try, he could bid 5 no trumps to say, partner, which slam should it be? I think that's more likely how we might find a diamond thing. So there's your partner's hand. He's got a normal reverse, but he has got 19 points. And that's the key here. Because when he's got 19 points, he'll also have the extra distribution, the 5-4. It makes sense here. I think a lot of people are going to finish in 3 no trumps here. Okay, and they're going to make a very comfortable, assuming diamonds break 3-2, they'll make a comfortable 12 tricks, just losing 1 diamond. And that's the power of those 3 diamonds, as it were. Clearly, it's interesting. I mean, I think once partner shows a club stopper, I think we're going to play no trumps. And I think that's the key bit, Brian. I think if partner didn't show a club stopper, then we'd be more inclined to show diamond support. Because here, because we have 2 stoppers in clubs, we're able to establish the diamonds. Does that make sense? So it would go 4 no trumps, of course, 6 no trumps. With the 19 points, partner wouldn't hesitate. Again, if you want to complicated things, I suppose North could invite. I think North's got exactly what he said in the tin there. Sorry, not North. West has got exactly what he's got said in the tin. Maybe with a singleton there. Instead, he might have offered the choice of contracts. But I think the singleton would have been a spade and would finish in 6 no trumps anyway. So very comfortable, as I say, 6 no trumps. If diamonds break 3-2, you'll make 4 diamonds, 4 hearts, 3 spades and 2 clubs, which probably ends up adding to 13, but you've got to lose a diamond. So I think they're tricky. They're tricky to find, these slams, when you've got this. As long as you trust each other and you know a reverse promises 16 to 19, I think you can be confident with 14 points that 4 no trumps is not going to take you too high. So if you bid 4 no trumps and partner had a king less there, you know, 4 no trumps would still surely be a reasonable contract. Okay, how about this one? It goes a diamond, 1 spade from you, just normal, 2 hearts from partner. Now this is a tricky one. Now we are going to be spending Slam A, as it were, when we get to May. Seems a long way away, but Slam May is going to be spent discussing trying to find minor suit slams. Because at this point in this auction, your partner's shown 16 plus. You are looking at a hand here with 6 losers, because you have a big diamond fit. You could jump to 4 diamonds, that's one option, or you could just bring out the 4 suit forcing first. That's up to you. I think bidding 4 suit forcing and then 4 diamonds for me is quite a strong bid anyway. So 3 clubs first. If partner bids 3 no trumps, I can bid 4 diamonds. So you'd probably, if you play in a regular partnership, you can define the difference between both. But I quite like bidding the 4th suit forcing first, see what partner's got to say to that, and then supporting the minor suit. Okay, that's the way I like to show my strength. Jump to 4 diamonds is all right here. The problem is partner's doesn't have any opportunity to show anything in clubs or anything, so it can be quite tricky for him to bid, to know what to bid over 4 diamonds. Does that make sense? So I quite like bidding the 4th suit first, and even if partner bid 3 no trumps here, we're still going to bid 4 diamonds. Now, as it happens, he bids 3 diamonds here, and now I may well bid 4 diamonds, inviting him to cubit. But the key is bidding 4 suit and then supporting shows strength. So 4 diamonds would be unconditionally forcing in this auction. Really important that. Now, we've talked about it a few times when I've played in the teams, where generally if you're in auctions like this, and we'll talk about it a lot in May, the practical way of bidding in the minors is to say, look, if we've shown support for a minor at the 4 level, let's not pass it. If 4 diamonds happens to be the perfect contract on a lovely day of the week, so be it. Okay, but essentially 4 diamonds is much more useful to say, partner, I'm prepared to play in diamonds, let's have some fun. Okay. But again, I mean, the direct jump to 4 diamonds works okay on this particular hand as well. But I quite like the 3 club bid here to allow us to show strength. Okay, the 4th suit forcing followed by support. So here, don't forget, if it went 3 clubs, 3 no trumps and partner, I was still planning to bid 4 diamonds. That's the key here, okay, because you feel your hand is so strong. In fact, next week, in fact, I was going to say next month, but next week is next month, we are talking the advanced losing trick count, and this is a classic example for it. Both hands have a fantastic hand. 5 losers opposite 6 losers, and the point about the reverse bid here, the reverse bid is generally going to be a hand of 6 or 5 losers, and therefore, if you've got 6 losers opposite that, you should be thinking about the slam. I guess you could. I'm trying to specify the difference between the 2 auctions. Really, 3 clubs maybe gives you more room to have a little bit of a chat, but not a huge amount more. Maybe the 3 no trump bid response and then 4 diamonds might give you a bit more information, but there's not a huge amount of difference. And this is where expert pairs will have very, very specific agreements between the 2 definitions of the immediate leap to 4 diamonds, and maybe 3 clubs, 3 diamonds, or 3 clubs, 3 no trumps, 4 diamonds. Okay, so anyway, I'm not sure if I'm finishing that auction, am I? Yes, I am. I'm making a cubit of spades and then probably 4 no trumps. Okay, so once diamonds, and I think they both auction would go the same. If you did jump straight to 4 diamonds, I think it would be a Q bid of 4 spades. I know, I suppose you might go 4 hearts, but I think 4 spades looks like the most sensible Q bid in this auction. And then 4 no trumps. I love Q bidding in my partner's suit, I have to say. You know, so for me that's the ace of spades there, and that means 4 no trumps is a classic bid from West. Gets 2 aces. Sorry. Oh, that's the wrong response, isn't it? I think. So that should be 5 spades. Apologies for that. 5 spades in response to 4 no trumps, and then 6 diamonds. Okay. So there is your auction to 6 diamonds, and I think the weight of points is almost always going to get you there. It might look lucky that you can discard the club loser. Yeah, minor wood or diamond wood, we will talk about those various things, Jenny, during May. Okay. Okay. So let's have a look at this next one. I think we've got one more thing to look at, and these ones I always find. We've been saying I think the minors we're going to talk about bidding up slams in the minors a lot in May, and we will talk about some of the ideas. They are horrendously difficult to bid, minor suit slams. You should have a better chance of doing them in teams bridge. Playing pairs, 3 no trumps is such a temptation, but we will try to draw up some battle lines on whether on the way we Q bid in minors as opposed to the very different way we Q bid, etc. So again, we will see how it differs. So this last one again is really tricky. I think a lot of people go wrong here. When you've got 18 or 19 points opposite an opening bid, it is very easy to get excited and just blurt out 6 no trumps, particularly with 19. What you've got to understand is if you've got 19 points and your partner opens the bidding, you have one simple job. That is to work out whether partner started with 12 or 11 or 12, or he started with 14 or 15. He could, of course, have a lot more. So don't lose sight of that. Don't be overexcited, because remember, if partner's opened with 11 or 12, you've got 19. If you haven't got a fit, you don't want to be any higher than 3 no trumps. Well, or at least no higher than inviting against slam. Does that make sense? So very often your plan is going to be to invite slam, but you've got to contrive an auction to be able to do that. Okay, so try to keep calm. Now, with a very long and strong suit, I love a jump response. Now, I know some people are now playing those as weak. I've never really worked out why you want to preempt your partner. Yes, the hands come up more often, but it can be really annoying for your partner when you do it. If you do ever play weak jumps in response to partner, they should be very specific, not random bids. Okay, I will add that in. But I love showing strong hands early if I've got a long and strong suit, and I mean 16 plus points and 6 spades, that kind of thing, because it means you don't get end played in the auction. Okay, but don't come off very often, so it's an important thing to bear in mind. Okay, so you're aiming to keep the bidding going when you've got these strong hands to eventually, if you're lucky, be able to invite a slam. But if you do not find a fit, 19 points opposite an opening bid does not make a slam, and that is the key. So let's finish with this one. Here's your 19 points. It's a nice hand. You're just thinking about what to open when your partner makes an opening bid. Okay. So going back to that last one, yes, I mean, one of the difficulties when you are bidding minors is any major suit bid that partners bid at some point, or you've bid, may be an inkling of, oh, let's play an Amoysian or this or that, but we will come back to that. So anyway, here, 19 points, 1 heart. You are excited, and I want you to be excited, but I also want you to think, I've got my shortest suit as partner suit, so we're not necessarily fitting here. Okay, all I'm going to do is respond 1 spade. That's all I need to do. Partner will make another bid. Even if partner's opened light, he's promised me to make another bid. Okay, he then rebids 2 diamonds. Okay, so he's... What's our partner's strength? Well, partner could be being realistic. If partner had 5 hearts and 4 diamonds and maybe a singleton, there's going to be times he'll open with 11 points. But at the same time, there'll be times he'll rebid 2 diamonds with as many as 16 or perhaps 17. Okay, so he's got quite a range, but the basic range you would look at is 12 to 15. Okay, yes, he can be up and he can be down, but that's your basic range. So your job here is to try to get in a scenario where you can say to your partner, are you minimum for your range or are you maximum? So clearly you cannot bid 3 no trumps here. Okay, that ends the auction. Full stop. Partner's got no idea how much you've got. 3 no trumps would show generally 13 to 15 points here. You've got a simple forcing bid, and that's important. 3 clubs. Okay, so that's what we've got to start with. We've got no choice. Does that make sense? You know, you don't want to be rebidding spades or supporting. 3 clubs, partner, I am strong. What have you got to say? Remember, 3 clubs, 4-suit forcing at the 3 level is unconditionally forcing to game. The ideal scenario is partner now bids 3 no trumps. And if partner does bid 3 no trumps, then we are in the position we wanted to be in. So let's see what partner does bid. He does. Okay. And that's exactly what you wanted to happen. What range has your partner got? Well, he's still got the same as we asked him. He doesn't bid any more if he's got 15. So I'm placing partner with about 11 to 16 points. Remember, he could be 5-4 still here with 11. And he definitely could have 16. I suppose he could have 17. But, you know, that would be out of the normal range. So all I'm going to do here is say, partner, I've got 19 points. And that's what 4 no trumps would say here. Partner, I've heard your bidding. And if you've got better than a minimum hand, I want to be in a slam. Okay, so we bid 4 no trumps. That is what your whole plan was to be in. Your whole plan, as soon as you had 19 points off an opening bid, you don't just go for slam. You are trying to create a scenario where you can get across to your partner that even though you might be minimum partner, I'm still confident of making 4 no trumps, but if you're a bit more than minimum, let's go for slam. Okay, there's your partner's hand. And a pretty mucky one it is indeed. And of course, he's bid completely normally and he just passes 4 no trumps. You don't really want to be in 4 no trumps, as it were, but you did want to try. The last thing you want to do is put your hand down as dummy and find partner make 12 tricks. Here, as you can see, your partner's got 10 tricks off the top. If South has the ace queen of hearts, you might make 12, but you clearly don't want to be in 12, okay? But you have got 4 spades, 4 diamonds and 2 clubs off the top there. So 4 no trumps is going to be easy. And all I'm going to do now is, if it's okay to finish, I'm going to give him another high card. So let's do that. So we go pass, obviously, here. But if we change the West hand to ace king of hearts instead, so he's now got 15. When we bid 4 no trumps, of course, he would bid 6 no trumps. And of course, now, because I've given him 2 heart tricks, you've got 12 tricks off the top. And again, this is a classic 3 no trump plus 3 hand. Okay, where you've literally got 4 spades, 4 diamonds, ace king of clubs, ace king of hearts. That makes 12 tricks. There's no planning to make. I guess the only planning you have to do is make sure you unblock the ace king queen of diamonds straight away so you can make sure of the jack. Okay, but you've got a very comfortable 6 no trumps, and it's comfortable in the sense that you've got 34 points between you. But it can be tricky for the east hand to maneuver itself. And what I tend to find generally is the east hand just blurts out 6 no trumps. It would work on this hand, but it clearly wouldn't on the previous one. And don't forget also that a lot of us do open with 11. And don't forget you do, I'm sure, as well. So don't blame your partner if you blurt out 6 no trumps with 19 points and it turns out he's only got 11 and you go a couple off. So just to sum up what we've talked about, Weak, you're generally calming things down. Strong, you need to make your forcing bid, okay? So you're either making a decision or you're asking a question. So most commonly you're making a decision as the responder's rebid. So your partner's made 2 bids and it's your job to make the decision. However, there are going to be times where you are super strong, you need to make a forcing bid, or you ask a question. The forcing, of course, is often asking a question. Have you got a stopper in the unbid suit? Today we've been using the four-suit forcing for slightly different reasons, for showing extra strength. So we have had a stopper. Every time I bid it today, I've had a stopper in clubs already. And a lot of people think, well, why are you bidding it? Well, of course, we're bidding it as a forcing bid to get a little bit more information. So sorry about that. That was a little bit longer than I expected, but I didn't have any of the other things involved today. So lots of interesting hands. As I say, please keep sending them in. I had one of them very much on that topic where I had a 16 opposite a 16 and you had aces in both of partners' suits though. So there was a reverse bid and the responder had the ace of both partners' suits. So for there, I would think to myself, well, either partner's got some weak suits, in which case he should probably have 17 points for the reverse, or if he's got strong suits, I've got the ace in both of them. So I would be thinking of, you know, when I responded, I put the blame on the east hand, on the responder's hand. So very often east is the one with the onus. You have to make the decisions. Sorry, I say east, it's east in my diagrams. The responder has the onus on him because once the opener was bid twice, very often you've got to make the decision. Okay, well, I think we are nearly there, so let's just put up that bidding quiz. I hope a nice and straightforward one, this one, I hope. 1 spade from east, and you responded 3 spades. Your partner bid 4 clubs. Okay, so it's love all. Nobody's vulnerable, i.e. you have responded 3 spades naturally to your partner's opening bid. Your partner has then bid 4 clubs, and it is your bid. Okay, so good luck with that. As usual, you can get the answer to that on the website, whether you are a member or not. So good luck. So I hope you enjoyed that. So that pretty much finishes the topic of responders rebid. February's a quick month, isn't it? So I'm looking forward to the rest of the week. Wednesday, prize teams. Looking forward to playing with you, Ruben. And then I'm off to the Isle of Wight on Thursday. We've got a recorded session on Friday, and then I'll be back raring to go, I hope, on Monday. So I hope you had a nice time while we were away. We certainly did ourselves. And hopefully see you again soon. Thanks so much.